If you've decided to buy a laptop but know nothing about laptops, I'll quickly walk you through everything you need to know without going deep into the specifics. So listen carefully. Let's make one thing very clear. A laptop is more than its specs. Firstly, you have to decide on your use case. There are three main categories: gaming, productivity, and daily use. Gaming laptops are usually thicker and heavier, but in return, they provide higher performance. Daily use laptops are the exact opposite. They are designed for browsing the web, watching movies, and basic office work. You don't need high performance here. The main priority is portability and battery life. Productivity laptops are positioned right between these two. They need high specs for photo and video editing. They're expected to match gaming laptops in performance while still being more portable and ergonomic. Secondly, you must consider your usage style. Some use their laptop like a mini desktop PC. They carry it from desk to desk and always keep it plugged in. Here, high performance and some level of portability is needed. Others carry their laptop with them all day. Here, it's lightness and battery life that takes importance. The first thing you need to look at is the screen size. There are loads of options spanning all the way from 13 inches to 18 inches in the market. As the screen gets bigger, so does the chassis and the overall weight. And a bigger chassis means more space for cooling and higher performance components. That's why we don't see many small gaming laptops in the market. In short, if you want a light laptop, you may need to make some compromises in areas like performance, cooling capacity, or build quality. Keep this in mind. Then there's the subject of batteries. In gaming or performance-focused laptops, battery life usually isn't great because these devices require a significant amount of energy to perform well. In fact, on performance-oriented laptops, since the battery is unable to supply as much power as the power adapter can, the performance takes a noticeable dip when you unplug your laptop. If you'll be using your laptop outside often, traveling, or be away from wall outlets, pay close attention to the battery specs. By now, you should have some idea of what kind of laptop you're looking for. Now, onto the parts inside the laptop. It will be much easier to pick up a laptop if you know about these as well. Don't worry, I'll explain it in a way everyone can understand. Our first part is the processor, or the CPU. The processor is the brain of the computer. It's usually the second most important part. The performance you get in photo editing, software development, and similar creative work is largely dependent on your processor. Nowadays, there are two different processor architectures that we see in laptops: x86 and ARM. On the x86 side, we have Intel and AMD. On the ARM side, we have Apple and Qualcomm. If you're looking for a Windows laptop, my advice to you for now is to pick a laptop built on the x86 architecture. Because even though Windows on ARM improved a ton in recent times, there are still some compatibility issues, especially on dated or professional software. So if you're looking to buy a PC with a Qualcomm processor, you first have to check the compatibility for the programs you'll be using. But this isn't the case for MacBooks, so you can buy them with peace of mind. If you're stuck between Windows and Macs, you can check out this video where I compare these two after this video. If you picked Windows, let's continue with x86. Here we are faced with two fierce rivals, Intel and AMD. Today, Intel releases processors in the Core Ultra series, and AMD releases processors in the Ryzen AI series. Digits like 3, 5, 7, and 9 on processor names denote the performance level the processor is. As the number gets higher, both the performance and the price increase. The following digits denote the generation of the processor or the series it belongs in. Newer processors are usually more power efficient and offer newer technologies. So, what do the letters at the end of these names mean? This part is very important. Here's what you need to know. H and HS series processors are high-performance mobile processors, and HX is used for the strongest mobile processors. U series processors focus on low power consumption, so they're commonly seen in thin and light laptops with long battery life. Series like Intel's Ultra 200V are next-generation processors designed to strike a balance between performance and battery life. So how will we know how well a processor performs? You need to do a bit of research before this, because the results can differ wildly depending on the program you're using. But if you just want to get a quick idea, you can Google Passmark CPU benchmark and compare processors from there. Generally, multi-core performance is useful for video editing, rendering, and professional applications, whereas single-core performance is useful for gaming and daily usage. Let's move on to the second part, the graphics card or GPU. GPU is the part responsible for handling graphics. In terms of gaming and performance, it's the most important part of the laptop by a long shot. Only competitive esports games like Valorant and Counter-Strike rely more on the processor rather than the graphics card. Not every laptop has a dedicated graphics card. On some models, you're only provided with the integrated GPU inside the processor. The reason for this is cost reduction, making the device lighter or increasing battery life. While sometimes these integrated GPUs can run a lot of games pretty smoothly, other times they only provide enough performance for daily use. If you're thinking of buying such a laptop and also plan to game from time to time, you should check gaming tests of that specific laptop on YouTube. Now, let's come back to our main topic. But before we get to our main topic, there's something I want to tell you about. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know how much I care about getting the best value in the things I buy or recommend. This is why I also recommend today's video sponsor, Brevo. Brevo is the go-to marketing and sales platform geared towards making your business grow through smarter customer relationships. It's an all-in-one solution that combines SMS, chat, CRM, marketing automation, and more. Design professional emails with their easy drag-and-drop editing tool. Reach customers directly through their phones using text messages or WhatsApp. Manage contacts and even send critical emails like password resets and order confirmations just in one platform. But it's not just that. We all know that getting the same cookie-cutter emails everyone gets from businesses can be annoying and unhelpful. But thanks to Brevo's ability to personalize your communication with your customers, you can create meaningful relationships and engage with them more effectively. And here's the best part. With their generous free plan that offers up to 300 emails a day forever and a pay-as-you-grow model based on email volume, you can focus on growing your business without worrying about racking up expenses. So both get more and pay less. If you're looking to start your own business, owner of a small to mid-sized company, or even a marketing professional, Brevo is the right platform for you. Redeem the code TMT to save 50% on Brevo's starter and standard plans for the first 3 months, only applicable to new paying customers. Thanks to Brevo for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to our main topic, graphics cards. Today, the most common graphics card manufacturer for laptops is NVIDIA. While there are laptops with AMD graphics cards, they are way rarer to come by. Nowadays, the most up-to-date option is the RTX 5000 series. If you're looking for something more affordable, RTX 4000 series laptops are still very powerful and worth considering. Naming of graphics cards is very simple as well. The first 2 digits denote the generation, and the last 2 digits denote the tier. For example, as you move down from the RTX 5090 to the 5080, 5070, and 5060, you get less performance. But in laptop GPUs, the model names actually don't tell everything. The wattage also comes into play here. The more power a graphics card receives, the closer the GPU can get to its potential. But this doesn't mean higher wattage always equals more performance. Because after a certain point, the performance gains become minimal, while temperatures and fan noise can increase significantly. Here are the ideal wattage values. 110 watts for the RTX 5060 and 5070, 140 watts for the 5070 Ti, and between 140 and 175 watts for the 5080 and 5090. As for 5050s, stay away from models with 45 watts. So looking at the model isn't enough. You also need to check the wattage as well. You can generally find this information on the manufacturer's website or in-depth reviews. Now, let's take a look at the storage and memory, the SSD and RAM. Let me briefly explain these. SSD is the storage of the laptop. Your files, programs, and games are stored here. And the RAM is the short-term memory of the laptop. It gains importance when you run multiple programs at once. So, how much do you need? If you're gaming, editing videos, or keeping a big archive of files, you must pick at least 1 terabyte. But for lighter usage, such as web browsing and basic office work, 512 gigabytes will be enough. While 256 gigabytes is still usable, it can be quite limiting by today's standards. On the RAM side, the situation is a bit clearer. Nowadays, you need at least 16 gigabytes of RAM for a good experience on Windows. If you're gaming, working with a lot of programs, and planning to use your device for a very long time, 32 gigabytes of RAM will provide a more comfortable experience. And in heavier workloads such as professional video editing, 64 gigabytes and higher would be better. Things are a bit different on MacBooks. As macOS is very efficient in memory usage, even 8 gigabytes of RAM will be enough for the average user. But again, more capacity could make more sense depending on your usage. But be cautious. Upgrading storage or RAM can be very costly on MacBooks, and you don't have the ability to upgrade your storage or RAM later down the line. To summarize, 1 terabyte SSD and 16 gigabytes of RAM is a very balanced combination for most budgets. You can even go as low as 512 gigabytes SSD in more basic usage scenarios. Now, it's time for the extras. If you're looking for a slightly higher quality laptop, you have to pay attention to these as well. The first one is the build quality. As you can understand from the name, this refers to the overall durability of the laptop. You can think of this as such. Laptops with high build qualities but relatively more humble specs compared to their competitors are like Toyotas. Maybe they aren't the fastest, but they work without a hitch for many years and they are reliable. On the other side are laptops with very powerful internals but mediocre build quality. These are more like the BMWs. Their performances are astounding, but they may require more care and attention. What matters here is picking the most balanced option for your budget. Second is the screen quality and the resolution. Do not skip this part if you play games, watch movies, or do creative work. Today, most commonly seen resolutions are Full HD and QHD. Some models even have 4K screens. For gaming, Full HD is still enough. If you have a more powerful laptop and care about visuals, you can go up to QHD, though I don't recommend 4K for gaming laptops. The panel technology is as important as the resolution. In simple terms, you have these options: LCD, Mini LED, and OLED. LCD is the most common option. Mini LED offers higher brightness and better contrast. OLEDs generally offer the best picture quality, but there are a few things to watch out for with long-term use. You can learn more about them here. The third one is upgradability. Some laptops have additional SSD or RAM slots. Thanks to these, you can upgrade your laptop's storage later down the line and prolong the lifespan of your device. If you're planning to use your laptop for a long time, I definitely urge you to pay attention to this. But if you're only planning to use it for a couple of years before upgrading, it's usually enough to just get the right amount of RAM and storage from the start. The fourth and last point is the port selection. The USB, USB-C, HDMI, 3.5mm jack, and similar ports can end up being more important than you'd expect in day-to-day use. Make sure to check these before buying your laptop, especially if you use external monitors, storage devices, and other similar accessories. So this is everything you need to know. If these seem a bit confusing to you, don't worry. I'll link some of my own laptop recommendations for different budgets on the description section and the pinned comment, so you can pick the perfect laptop for your needs more easily. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. If not, feel free to dislike it. Stay mysterious until the next video. Take care and bye.